Hello, my sweet and dirty readers, and welcome to another Sierra Talks Books with Authors, where if you are sweet and you love to read dirty, then you're in the right place. Today's special guests include two of my really good friends, Samantha Lind and Stacey Marie Brown. And I have known them for quite some time, and we have all had the privilege and honor of being selected authors and writers in the Cocky Hero Club world. So please join me in welcoming Stacey Marie Brown and Samantha Lind. Welcome to my lovely guests, Samantha and Stacey Marie Brown. Welcome to Sierra Talks Books with Authors. I am so happy to have you both.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome. So both of you are not only my good friends, but you're also part of the Cocky Hero Club world. And so we're going to be talking quite a bit about that today. And I see behind Samantha, there is her lovely new books. Yeah. And Stacey has hers. So we're going to talk a lot about that. But first, we're going to learn a little bit about you in case viewers aren't familiar with your work. You both released books this summer. I'm lagging behind in the Cocky Hero Club world. So congratulations on that. So I want to hear a little bit about your book, the title, and which book in the Cocky Bastard series that it is connected with. So Samantha, let's start with you.
So my book is Cocky Doc,
Cocky Doc.
and it ties into British bedmates. So Simon and Bridget are friends of my main character, Dr. Andrew, and he's a pediatric cardiologist. And my heroine, Megan, she moves across the country after she graduates from college. It's her first job. And she's also my most unique or amazing heroine, I think, because she's got a lot of in her way. So she's in a wheelchair. She has been wheelchair dependent the majority of her life due to having cerebral palsy. And that plays right into their meet cute, which is probably one of the funnest meet cutes I've ever written before, because he is not paying attention to where he's going as he's walking down one of the halls in the hospital, and he literally trips over her wheelchair.
Oh my gosh. Tell us about yours.
So mine's called Smug Bastard. It's actually part of the Cocky Bastard one where Chase's story, like he comes through my story. But mine's kind of a road trip, enemies to lovers, kind of just, so it's like Kinsley's the main girl, and she kind of just graduated college. She has twin siblings that are older than her that are kind of the perfect, kind of already are, have their own business, and and she's lost. She went to school, and it's kind of how a lot of us feel when we get out of college, that we put all this time and energy, and then we get out going, what do I even really want to do? She's going on this road trip. Her brother's getting married, so she's heading back east to go see it, and things like, this is my time. Her dog Goats. I kind of wanted to bring that kind of little kitchen into it too. So they're planning on doing this whole road trip across the states. Smug Bastard, aka Smith, his bike breaks down, and they happen to be in the same area, and she never liked him. She was just enough younger growing up with him that she didn't fall for his charm. She thought he was kind of an asshole.
Smug.
Yeah, Smug Bastard. And so it's how these two kind of come together, and it's a great road trip, enemies to lovers, kind of just a fun.
Very cool. Well, and both of you, because you were kind of early on, I think that's one of my questions is, how did you decide to get involved in this? Do you remember learning about it? And then did you do it right away? Because I didn't. I pushed it out. So Stacey, you...
Oh, well, you were actually I'd heard about it and crossed paths with it. And then it was, I think we were at lunch, and you were like, oh, I just got, part of this, you should look into it. And I'd read Cocky Bastard before, and I enjoyed it. So it was just something that I'm like, oh, hey, why don't I try it?
And we'll talk a little bit too about, what you have written in what genres. And this was a little bit of a departure, as you say, because you have contemporary romance, but not as many. And Samantha, you have contemporary romance, but in the sports world, like you said. So how did you get involved in that?
So I saw the opening to apply I think pretty quickly, like like, you know, within a day or so of them posting it. And it was kind of one of those things of, I just figured, you know, you don't get an opportunity unless if you like, you take it. Like, it was kind of one of those, well, I'll apply. And if they think I'm good enough, then, you know, it was meant to be. And if I don't, then, you know, it didn't hurt me to submit an application. And it feels like, you know, 5 years ago, because, you know, 2020 has been so long. Right?
Yeah, I was like, a month feels like 2 years. I'm like, still 2020.
So I had read the majority of the Cocky books, and my favorite was British Bedmate, which was not originally part of the Cocky Hero. Like, they had repackaged it and made it part of it. So that was good for me, because that was my favorite. And I really had wanted to write a doctor. And
do you have a lot of scenes in like the hospital setting or? Oh, okay.
Yes. Because Megan is a child life specialist, so she works in the hospital. So like it is very much, you know, that's how they meet. Once again, the whole he's going, her first day of work is when he trips in her lap. So like,
hello, hot doctor.
I know, hot doctor. Yeah. First in her lap.
So did you both do a lot of research? I know, you know, you had to do a lot of research on your characters and background. And Stacey, I know you travel a lot, or have traveled a lot in your past. So, you know, did you incorporate those things in your writing of the book?
Of course. I mean, travel is so part of me that it, and even if I haven't been there, there's some reason that there was a long period of time that I kept writing places I actually hadn't been to yet. And then I traveled after, and I'm like, oh, did a pretty good good job. I will go in any way I can and, you know, find the streets, look at how it looks, you know, find a cafe that actually is there, you know, look. So I mean, I think you have just I have a natural travel, like, feeling of how somebody would act, how they would, you know, what a situation might be if they get, you know, so.
And Samantha, you said you had a beta that you relied upon for information about your heroine. And
so when it was kind of one of those just like perfect like situations. So I had literally just started the book. So I'm a total pantser. I do not plot. I do not outline. I don't do anything except for, I know, you know, okay, I have these two characters, and at the end they're going to be together, you know, like, and I was, so I knew Drew's background. I knew, like, I'd kind of already fleshed him out, but I was really still trying to like flesh Megan out and what was going to go into this and stuff. And I had written like 500 words of the opening. And Christine had messaged me, and she was like, have you ever thought of writing, you know, a person with a disability? And I was, and I have. Some people would look at a wheelchair as you're confined to it, and it's this horrible thing. And she said, no, it's my freedom. It allows me to do things. And so having that mindset of, you know, I'm not confined to a wheelchair. This is my freedom. This is how I can do, you know, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And so I really tried to play into that part of it and show that just because she's in a wheelchair doesn't mean that she's any less capable of doing something that I can do, because I'm not in a wheelchair.
Let's talk about your writing careers up to this point then, and how you started, why you started. Stacey, do you want to start? Because I think you've probably been publishing the longest. So
I'm on 7 years.
Okay.
25 books, and 5 books are like written, but, you know, still in the process. So I'm kind of unique. A lot of people started out knowing they wanted to write. I actually went into acting. I always wrote. Like, I was a Goonies kid. I lived in the country. We had to entertain ourselves, not this, you know. So I was always writing like stories and stuff, but and pretending. I always had the imagination, but I never thought of it as a career. So I went into acting, and, you know, LA probably, you know, pretty much destroyed me. So I was like, I'm enough, done. I'm out of here. And I went over to Europe, and that's where I got more into interior design and architecture, and just I just let myself travel and be for a long time. And then when I came back, I went to interior design school, and it was there that I was just started like reading a lot. And it was actually the books that I wanted to throw against the walls that the characters were just making me crazy. That I was like, you know, because people were like, oh, what made, you know, was there a book that made you write? And I'm like, there's a lot of great books that gave me inspiration, but it was actually the books I hated that gave me more inspiration. I kind of finished my first book and I'm like, this is what I want to do. Because I realized like I was doing interior design stuff and I was actually doing a little staging and I realized my drive for writing and publishing and getting it out there was a lot more than what I would do for design. I was still like not sure of myself enough in that. And I'm like, no, this is what I want to do. So it was like, right at the end of that, I was already taking off in this another career. So yeah, as soon as I still would like had to wait tables for a while and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it came down to this ultimatum between my boss going, if you want to go to this event, either that or you're going to lose your job, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm losing my job. And I became author, like.
What was your debut book?
Darkness of Light. So I was, that is now, it's 5 books, but it actually is a 13 book series because there's 3 series that they all interconnect.
Okay.
At the end of my third thing that I am a romance, just a contemporary. I think I needed a break from all like world building and stuff like that. And the story just kind of came to me. It was my Shattered Love series. And from there, I'm like, I love doing contemporary romance too. And it's actually now my main reading thing where, before it was just paranormal, but I am getting now back into my paranormal.
So I debuted with Tempting Tessa back in May of 2017.
Okay.
And so now, I'm up to 15 books since then. So Tempting Tessa was a complete standalone contemporary romance that I wrote in 22 days. And
22 days.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And it was, so I never, ever, ever, ever would have thought in a million years that I would have been a writer. I was not like a big English person. I have a business degree. I'm an accountant by day. I deal with numbers, not words.
Right.
To be in this moms group. And 1 month there was this challenge to do something that you had kind of always wanted to do, whether it be go get that tattoo you wanted or, go bungee jumping. So I took it literal and I wrote a book in a month, like in that month. Never really thinking that anything would really come of it. After I wrote that one, then I thought, okay, well, I want to do hockey. I love hockey. We're big hockey fans. My kids play hockey, all that kind of stuff. So I know a lot about the sport, and I know sports romance is, obviously very popular. I love reading sports romance. So I just kind of dove in and went right into writing my Eagles series. And then that's just kind of snowballed. And then in 2018, I was invited to write in Aurora Rose Reynolds' world in her Until series. So, so writing in the Cocky Hero series is my second time writing in some. So I've written in Aurora's world twice.
Okay. What interested you most about writing in this this shared world?
Again, I think it was reaching new readers. I had been in the contemporary for a while, but people knew me for paranormal, so I kind of wanted to reach new readers that knew, like, hey, I'm doing contemporary romance too. And and then it was just I did Monsters Ball, which is a paranormal, but it was kind of the same. Like we have a character and we have to be part of this world. It was a lot more like it again, like Samantha said, it's different. Like they had much more restrictions on like this is the name of the bartender, because we had a scene.
Gotcha.
And so we had to stay within this like world of like almost this room. And so but that was a little novelette where this is, a full novel that you could explore much more.
So what were some of the takeaways that you guys gleaned from writing in this series? Samantha, what did you take away from it? Any experiences? And
it definitely was different because I'm used to writing, going through my editing cycle and publishing. So like to write a book and it not publish. And so that was another weird thing is after I wrote Cocky Doc, I wrote another book and published it before Cocky Doc came out. So that was, just kind of something new, which obviously comes with writing for a publisher versus self-publishing.
No, I think it's the same as her, is the control, because we're, especially for us pantsers that just kind of go with the moment and our characters and kind of being like, we have this, we have freedoms, but we kind of have to stay in a lane of like bringing in their character enough. And so I think it was just letting, that kind of control and being like, okay, I can, do this. And like you said, like, letting them take care of everything that you're so used to doing.
Right. Yeah. The biggest level of satisfaction in your career, like as you look back and, maybe it is Cocky Hero Club. Maybe it's something else. Samantha, do you have anything?
Probably like the very first time that I went to a signing, which was when we met in person in Seattle, and like having somebody come up to me and say, I just love your work. Like being so excited because of something I wrote, and that
and to have those comments and the feedback like that, it really is uplifting and inspiring, and realizing, oh wow, we are helping people get through this 2020 situation. Right. Cool. How about you, Stacey? Any
Well, I think the readers are always number one for me because I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is a tough business, and it's a lot of ups and downs, and we'll get, like you said, as an artist, we'll get critiques that, because we're putting our heart and soul out there. It's like, here, I've just taken out everything that means something to me, judge it. And you get some people that are actually just want to be cruel to you, and sometimes personal. So when you get a message, and I actually in the last 2 days have gotten several of people that are like, one woman's like, I can't leave my bed. You are like the reason, like I have a moment that I can breathe and I can disappear into this world. And it's just like that kind of stuff makes you like forget all the other stuff. Like then all of a sudden it's like, this is so worth it. This, my story has made somebody, for a moment be able to not feel their pain and their,
Well, thank you both for joining me today and sharing about your Cocky Hero Club books. I'm excited. I listened to Stacey's Smug Bastard, and I haven't gotten to Cocky Dog yet, but I will.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to listen to it in September.
Yes. Absolutely. All right. And my book is releasing October 11th. And, we're talking about the patience and waiting. It took me forever to finally be able to get to write it. And then I finished and the edits and everything in May. And then it had to, and now it's releasing October 11th. And again, because we're indie, we're used to turning books around pretty quickly. So this publishing process has been, it's been unique and fun and different. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both.
Yeah,
Have a great rest of your summer. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to both my good friends, Stacey Marie and Samantha, for joining us and talking about their Cocky Hero Club books. I am so excited to read Cocky Doc and I've already finished Smug Bastard. Both great books by great writers. And please do check out their work on their listed website in the description below. And make sure to subscribe to get more and additional videos down the line because I will have some really great guests coming up in the future. And until then, remember to be sweet, love hard, and read dirty. Take care. Bye.